left here, 1v1, Green Tooth Gorge, blue side. We've got Mahror as a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that can leap into combat with some powerful disruption, support and offense, looking very green over here. Red side, Matouzka is a Techmarine, starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair, wade into melee combat too. This is the Black Templars elite scheme with the largest pauldrons that they can find. We've got double scout straight up from Matouzka. He's going to get at least one shotgun, I would think. Perhaps two. We're going to see Dire Avengers, we're going to see Banshees, and we're going to see at least one Shuriken from Mahror. It's all about Shurikens and Wraith Lords these days, it seems, for Eldar. Tactical Marines now for Matouzka. So he's not doing anything too weird. Like not getting Tactical Marines. These guys coming mid to cap. Going to see the shotguns on one of them, spreading out early on. The Warlock's such a good solo fighter in 1v1s. Look for him to be running around, jumping around, and picking fights. I mean, give him a merciless Witchblade and pretty much nothing in the Space Marine roster tier 1 wants to tangle with him. Same can be said for many of the melee heroes, but not a lot of them have this kind of mobility. Using his range attack there, going to get a decap. This is so annoying. Is he going to get it? No. Not quite so annoying now, are you, Mr. Warlock? In retreat. Here are the Howling Banshees. Power melee weapons on these ladies. Around about 120, I think, power melee DPS for the entire squad. Which is a hell of a lot. Especially since they're often fighting Marines, so a lot of that damage gets focused on a single model a lot of the time. Since there's only 3 Marines. Scouts. Might see a triple here for Matouzka. These Tactical Marines using their 50% faster capping trait to grab this central VP. Usually you see Tactical Marines hang around their hero early game for a Space Marine in 1v1. Certainly nearby their Tech Marine right here. And they might run into these Banshees. Getting some shots though, they've got good sight of them. And now the Tech Marine can weigh in with some damage and needs to retreat him out. Here we see a Guardian Weapon team with the Shuriken Cannon suppression platform for Eldar. Going to bring it up to the west side. Maybe keep it alongside these Dire Avengers. Matouzka Assault Marines, I guess. It's going to be dangerous though. It's going to be dicey. With a Warlock and Banshees around. Could just, you know, use his scouts to get in around and generally avoid this Shuriken in tier 1. What are you doing? Are you going for the decap on that wreck point up there? You might be. Here are the shotguns then. Around 15 piercing DPS as you saw on the tooltip. So not bad. Slightly more DPS than a... very slightly more than a Tactical Marine Bolter. I think they're like 14.58 or something. They are getting a decap over there. And here comes the Warlock decapping again. Ah, but this time again he doesn't get it. Misjudging those decappy fights, isn't he? Another Shuriken for Mahror. Was not expecting 2. I wonder if that's a mistake and it will be cancelled. Looks like it's not cancelled. Definitely needs Assault Marines now. Banshees are not going to chase those Tactical Marines. They probably can't see them now. Tech Marine with the forward cap in here. The Warlock can do it, I can do it. Can do it better, in fact. Look at these guys, though. Grabbing these wreck points and powers. Fight is kicking off towards the southeast. Tech Marine gets out of there. Shuriken being used. Pretty mobile here. He's not keeping it on the west side to look after the VP or anything. The Assault Marines are hitting the field for Matouzka. Scouts. Oh! Shuriken got too close. Gonna go for the garrison now, I think. There's no grenades around, there's no flame around. So it should be alright. Running into Dire Avengers, piercing pew pew, not what you want to do with scouts. They're getting in behind them and they're getting a sergeant up for a grenade. These guys just ignoring them, they want this power. We do have 2 generators up. Here are the Assault Marines. Jump troops that disrupt units when they land. 25 melee DPS, I think, per model. Warlock got the decap that time. And there's that second Shuriken doing some annoying things. Oh, can he get a nice grenade here? Gone for it. It's very nicely placed. Beautiful grenade. Might be able to finish these guys off. Excellent play from Matouzka. Recognised the Shuriken, got both of his scouts in there for some retreat bashing goodness, and did the job. I don't think Mahror will replace it. He wants tier 2 now. He wants his Wraith Lord. Maybe he's Falcon. I'm guessing Wraith Lord though. If in doubt, the Eldar wants Wraith Lord. 326, 500, 2-1 cap for red. What is this? Scouts decapping. Bashing power 2, and Techmarine trying to get his rec point back. Meanwhile though, we see bashing Shuriken action. Oh, Banshee's there to counter initiate the assault marines. This could be really bad for them. And they are persuaded to leave very, very quickly there. And the power bashing recommences. Tactical Marines are there to shoot things, maybe. There we go. In some light cover. Good usage of the Shuriken, pushing right back up again to shut those Tactical Marines DPS down. No aspect for the Dire Avengers that I can see. Nope. So no grenades flying around. And no war gear early on for the Warlock, which I was expecting. Always expect the Merciless Switchblade. Oh, Tactical Marine dropped a model over there. There's a jump. Bad news for that Shuriken. And they jump across right afterwards to the Dire Avenger squad. Banshees. Oh, can't get a scout. Tier 2 for both players, we'll see next. Mahror going slightly earlier. If Matouzka's paying attention, he is. Banshees with a very, very dicey decap attempt, dropping a model to the Assault Marines, who can maybe jump after them and get a couple more. Not sure if they will. They probably want to save the energy. 55 energy jump those guys have, I think. Warlock has no XP whatsoever. He's not taking part in any model kills. In fact, have they even dropped a model? Oh, they did. They dropped this Tactical Marine on the east side, bashing the power. He's decapping a hell of a lot of stuff, though. Or at least trying to. He's failed a few times. So it's going to be a close tier 2 race. We might see both players going for a walker here. Slightly less likely for Matouzka to do so, I think. Eldar have lots of very quick, hard-hitting anti-vehicle in tier 2 with Warp Spiders and Fire Dragons and Bright Lances with their relatively good mobility for a setup team. Lots of nasty things. And of course the Warlock has enhanced these days with his Heart of Darkness, so he can buff the damage of stuff. Which is pretty cool. And its speed, I think. 238 to 500. Matouzka has not dropped a VP off his counter yet. We've kind of seen Mahror poking around the edges of the map with the Eldar, probing, taking fights when he can. Which is generally what Eldar do, I guess. Scouts now coming west. He's done really well with his scouts, Matouzka. And it is a Wraith Lord we see from Mahror. Nothing yet from Matouzka, although what has he purchased? Oh, he did. He got the Sergeant for his Assault Marines. I think that's it. So he needs to respond to the Wraith Lord. Could get Melter Gun Techmarine with Orbs. Could get Missile Launcher. Could get Melter Bomb. Could just get some Devastators up, of course. Lots of things. 214, 500. Single cap for Matouzka. This could be a vital fight. Banshee's getting their Exarch up in the middle of that melee combat there. Techmarine on his way to level 2. Oh, he wants to shoot the Banshees, does he? These ladies going to try and bash power, have the aspect of strength, gives their Exarch that heavy melee Executioner Spear. It's around 50 DPS, I think. 51.43. Scouts can't really stand up to the Warlock. They might eat a shotgun blast, though. Here comes the Wraith Lord. There's a shotgun blast, too. Has that Ghost Glaive sword and that wrist-mounted Shuriken catapult. Can get a Shuriken cannon mounted on its shoulder or a Bright Lance, and that doesn't affect its melee prowess. It still retains melee resistance, still retains all of its melee damage, and can fire on the move. It's a very powerful walker. How much health does it have these days? 1100. I think it costs like more pop or something, or more resources or something like that. It's been shifted around a few times last few patches, the old Wraith Lord. Getting into a very good place right now. Stone Guard veterans on the field for Matouzka can load in Hellfire rounds to help shoot up this light infantry, and the Warlock, of course, will do damage over time to him as well. And they can also use Vengeance rounds to help shoot down the Wraith Lord. Vengeance rounds being buffed, I believe, in 2.7.1. A bit more potent, rather than like very soft AV as it stands, but you do have a lot of AV as a Space Marine. There's that shoulder mounted shuriken, a whopping 46.67 piercing DPS. Is bloody scary, especially for light infantry armies. These Marines with their heavy armor will have some resistance to it. Oh, he's found some scouts. Doesn't get a melee hit though. Does slightly less melee DPS than a Dreadnought, but does hit harder with each attack. It's just that it attacks very, very slowly, this guy. There's the Melter Bump. Vengeance rounds are loaded in on these Sternguard veterans and doing some work. Techmarine using Signum's marked target there, increasing damage by 40%. Wow. I thought it was like 25 or something. I guess it doesn't last that long. You really have to pounce on that damage buff. Oh, we do have a las cannon up. Devastators have brought one to the party. There we go. Big burst of damage and a movement debuff for any vehicle it hits. Or any vehicle-like unit. Doesn't have to technically be a vehicle. 198. 443 on the VPs. 2-1 for Mahror. Matouzka is starting to lose those VPs now. Banshee's starting to be a real threat, but can they get away here? There is Distort Field on them. Or is it Distortion Field from the Warlock's Global Bar, giving them some hefty range damage resistance, and they are able to get away. Did a good job diving into the las cannon Devastators there. Sometimes you see that from the Banshees, using their general mobility to dive into setup teams. These fellas still don't... Oh, they are getting their aspect now. There we go. These fellas already have it. Where are you? There you are. Wraith Lord's kind of too far forward for my liking over here. There's a Melter Gun Techmarine now. And he can fire that thing on the move, I believe. This is also getting a buff. I think it's going to get a range increase in the next update. But Signum will no longer give you a range increase as it does now. Scout squad getting a nice decap. Might be able to get a full cap in fact, but we saw the Shuriken over here get one. So it's going to be a 2-1. It's probably going to flip and be a 2-1 the other way. Oh! Witchblade of Kurnus, power melee weapon for the Warlock. How much does it do now? 71 power melee DPS. It's been buffed a couple of times, I think, in its damage relatively recently. Oh! Dragonfire rounds added in. Don't see these things very often. They're designed to shoot down units in garrisons and cover, and these guys are not shooting anymore. Cool. Come on, do some shooting. There we go. Oh, but I need to run into the Shuriken. Look how much damage they did, though, with like half a second of shooting. Howling Banshees with marked target on them. Need to be very, very careful here. Don't want to fight that. They were going to eat a Merciless, and that would have shredded them. Merciless Switchblade from the Assault Marines Sergeant. He's on the right there with his power sword. Or is he? Where is that power sword? Yeah, it is over there. He's hiding. Eldar coming back mid. Now these guys have grenades. They're a lot more of a threat in general, especially to Assault Marines jumping in. And that las cannon. Wraith Lord is now fully repaired. Still level 1. Still a massive threat to Matouzka. Does it get something else to help deal with it? He's getting a Dreadnought. That's what he's going for. From power bashing from Mahror. Sternguard veterans with Hellfire rounds added in. The Assault Marines must have jumped these guys and got them out there. Was not expecting a Dreadnought from Matouzka. I think he's annoyed at how much good stuff these Banshees are doing for Mahror. There's the Ethereal Slash. Has to cancel out of it to try and escape. Might not get away though, and does not get away. Look how little XP this Warlock has. We have a level 3 Techmarine. It's been used to run around and cap a hell of a lot. Wraith Lord doing some scary things to these Marines. Techmarine almost goes down, and does go down in fact. Dire Avengers helping out with some range DPS. Not to mention a Wraith Lord himself. Or itself. Guess there's just a Spirit Stone in there. Tier 3 for Mahror. And he's got a lot of resources. Instantly could get a Fire Prism. Bad news for this Dreadnought. You guys need to run away. Smack. Wow. Half the hit points in one retreat hit. Retreat units taking 30% more damage from melee attacks. Run away. Scouts. They are doing a lot of work decapping that west side. Wraith Lord doesn't particularly want to fight this guy because it does have more hit points and slightly more DPS. So, should win that fight. Wraith Lord, are you close to leveling? You're kind of close, actually. Taking back his natural... Oh, these are Assault Marines. Black Templar Assault Marines. That Signum's dangerous. Vanguard are level 2. They've killed some stuff. Warlock's still down. Surprised he hasn't repurchased, actually. He's going for the Avatar here. That's why he hasn't repurchased. I thought he'd repurchase and then get a Fire Prism up. Smack! Actually hit them in midair there. Because he started his animation, so they finish it. Avatar will take a little while to come out, like 70 seconds or so. I think. At least over a minute. Not wanting to fight head on here, Mahror, as you can see. Doesn't like what he's up against with a Melter and a Las Cannon and that Dreadnought. It's too dicey for his Wraith Lord. Doesn't want to fight here. But there's a jump. Might be forced to if the Melter Bomb hits. Oh, looks like they're out of energy actually. They can't throw it. Not sure how much energy it is, but it's more than 19. Scouts continue to try and do some work over here, but Banshees have found them now. There's that war shout. And they're off the field. Avatar's close. Oh, Shuriken was dealt with somewhere. Was it right there? Wasn't paying attention. Wasn't paying attention. I wonder if he'll straight away revive the Warlock next. Ethereal Slash would be very useful for helping to keep these Assault Marines at bay. Guess the Avatars would be pretty damn useful at that too. Dreadnought has found some Banshees who use their fleet to get away. Fleet of foot, an ability that many of the Eldar infantry start with. Or rather can get. Devastators are set up. Las Cannon is covering a massive area here. Doesn't actually have vision, which is why it's not firing. There's the acid rounds of the Hellfire, and here comes the Avatar of Cain super unit for Eldar, giving you some big buffs to surrounding allied infantry and some very powerful and potent combat abilities of his own. He's got a giant fire sword, so good luck, las cannons. Dreadnought doesn't want any part of it either. 121 to 309. Assault Marines being ballsy and jumping into the sight of a Wraith Lord and an Avatar. Las Cannon does set up though. He's going to get at least one shot off it. Oh, he actually did already. Boom, there's another one. What's going on west side? Banshees fighting scouts. They should be able to see them off over there. Gonna damage this Wraith Lord. He's using his Wraith Bone to heal up. Warlock is back on the field, as you can see. The Witchblade of Kurnos gives him a grenade icon, which is kind of interesting. Does the... I don't think Rending Talons give the Hive Tyrant a grenade icon, do they? It's kind of a similar deal, point blank AoE stuff. Warp Throw now for the Warlock can really mess up engagements with the disruption, control them. Might get a triple cap here as well, Mahror. 98 to 309 on the VPs. Banshees babysitting Western VP. We have Dire Avengers mid with the Avatar and the Wraith Lord. It's a hell of a roadblock to get through for Matouzka. He's still in tier 2 as well. He could go tier 3 here. He's not. Maybe he's waiting to see how this next fight goes. There's marked target on the Wraith Lord. Taking las cannon hits. Taking dreadnought attacks too. Wailing Doom gets the las cannon out of there for now. There's Wraith Bow and the Melter Bomb. I think he should have led with the Avatar there. Maybe a little bit too overeager to get the Wraith Lord in, considering what Matouzka has. Might get rid of this Wraith Lord. It's been stopped in place because Melter Bomb stacking with the las cannon slow. Dreadnought might be able to finish it off with that melee charge. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's too far away now. 98 to 221, still a triple cap for Mahror. It's another Dreadnought on the way for Matouzka. I was not expecting that at all. If you can get this Wraith Lord down, then it's going to be pretty good. Down he goes. Melter Gun getting a last hit for the Techmarine. Boom. I think it's got 100% accuracy on the move with this thing, I think. Triple cap still ticking down. Banshees still hanging out west side. Yes, they are. Down to only 3 models, though. Might want to get some reinforcement going, ladies. What do you get now, Mahror? I guess you get a Fire Prism. Surely you get a Fire Prism. We're against double Dreadnoughts here. And these guys cannot get ranged. Well, they can get a Multi-Melter, but you're going to be hard-pressed to hit a Fire Prism with a Multi-Melter unless you catch the enemy player napping, which you might. He's gone for Seer Council. Not sure that's the way to go against double Dreadnoughts. I don't think he's seen the second one yet, though. He thinks, hey, the Avatar and the Banshees can take down one Dreadnought, and the Seer Council can wreck all the infantry, which might have been good. But now there's 2 Dreadnoughts, which can cycle their Emperor's Fist and really wreck the Banshees and the Seer Council. Banshees are now going to have a lot of passive buffs from the Avatar being nearby and the Seer Council being nearby. Didn't see the Warlock use Warp Throw there, but he must have used it. These guys getting a decap. Distortion Field is on them. Very nicely done. Still has a double cap now. 98 to 111. West side though. Assault Marines doing their thing. Scouts also. Here's the march with the Dreadnoughts. The first one didn't even level up. 98 to 98 on VPs. Don't get much closer than that. You can't get closer than that, in fact. Here's that Seer Council. Powerful power melee squad that can leap into combat and passively buff nearby allies with some range damage resistance, which is nice. That's a aura that they also benefit from. Not sure where they're heading. They are coming mid. Single cap here for Mahror is very, very close. Double Dreadnoughts in their melee charge animation is not amusing at all. Be quiet. Avatar's got marked target, taking a lot of damage here. These guys will want to load in their Vengeance rounds to fight the Avatar because it's a super heavy infantry unit. They are loading in something. It is the Vengeance rounds, but now they have to fight some Seer Council, who knock them all over the place. And their leap, unlike the Warlock leap, their leap actually does damage. And it's not an insignificant amount either. Dreadnoughts chasing down this guy. Down you go. Well, who cares if you lose your Warlock? You now have a squad of Warlocks over here. You might want to repurchase, though. Either way. 64, 84, single cap for Matouzka. Stone Guard reinforcing up to level 3 now. What? He let them cap. That was strange. There's the Emperor's Fist. That was very strange. Bang. Eldar now contesting their natural. That's a grenade. Gonna be a nasty one too. They're okay. Can go back to capping. Oh, really nice usage of his Dire Avengers late game here, Mahror. Keeping Matouzka stretched, trying to cover all areas of the map, which Eldar are a lot more kitted out for doing. Triple cap here, 60 to 46. Stone Guard veterans capping mid. These guys, are you going to go for the garrison? You're not going to go for the garrison. Might have been able to go for it if he was a bit more lively there and paying attention to that side. Warp throw. Throwing the Techmarine off the cap, and now he can get in his face. So Council now trying to cap mid. They are relatively tanky, these guys. 500 hit points per model with that range damage resistance aura. Wants to Ethereal slashed him off the cap, I guess, here. Nope, he's going to go down. Double cap, though. It might be too late for Matouzka. GG, indeed. And there it is. Mahror takes it with a double cap at the end. Awesome game. Awesome stuff. Double Dreadnoughts from Matouzka. Not enough to get him the win. Really expected him to go tier 3. Really did. Let's look at his heroes. End of the game. A level 1 Warlock. He was super effective at being annoying, but not necessarily at killing things. He had a level 5 Techmarine too. And there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.